What's goody, y'all? You guys know who it is. Ringside Rave. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and let's get into this podcast.
What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to episode 9 of the Fade Hour, man. This is the free tank episode. I'm your host, Maul. You know, I go by Brews and Boxing. Sipping on me a little old ale. Got aged in maple syrup, bourbon barrels. You know, I got my man Smoke with me. I got my man Newzz. I got my man Pat. P gonna join us later. Man, today's topics we're gonna cover, you know, the free tank discussion. Get a little bit more into detail with that. Also talk about the Terence Crawford and Benavidez card. You know, but first, let me go ahead and kick it to my man Newzz, then Smoke, and then Pat. They all gonna introduce themselves, man. Y'all go ahead, Newzz.
What up, y'all? This your boy Newzz, representing that Ringside Rave all day. You know what's good with me, man. Got the gelato on deck. Got the orange juice on deck as well. I'm sorry, I said orange juice. It's the orange juice and Girl Scout cookie mix. It's called Orange Cookie. Oh, I'm about to be lit. It's the free tank episode. I'm ready to let's get right to it.
Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy Smoke. Repping that free smoke boxing, Ringside Rave. I'm actually chilling in motherfucking Kansas. So I'm drunk off a couple IPAs. Holla at me. Free tank.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Pat Scorpion, New England representative. And I just got some Grey Goose in my cup, you know, keeping it nice and simple. You know, I've been sipping on this shit while I'm watching this football game and whatnot. And yeah, I'm ready to start talking.
Shit, all right, man. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. You know, this weekend, a little interesting thing happened online where, you know, Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, as he's known, you know, just kind of voicing his frustration. He's been frustrated recently with his inactivity, you know, and we're hearing it from his side. We don't know the full story. We don't know why he's inactive. But, you know, my man Newzz, he definitely going to start this off because he, from my understanding, he's very instrumental with this free tank movement that's been coming about. And we also just going to go ahead and if Newzz if you want to start off or you want to kick it around about that, we'll just talk about maybe Tank's next move. And also, have we ever seen anything like this before where, you know, a boxer is this, you know, displaying his dissatisfaction with his inactivity, and then the internet and boxing community just rallies behind them and take over social media in regards to that?
Man, I don't know. It's like I was sitting back thinking, like, I went to the Deontay Wilder fight, Luis Ortiz fight. I went to the Broner Vargas fight. And I was thinking, because I was going to talk about Broner Vargas because of Vargas Delorme. When I thought about it, and I'm like, Now, I remember going to that fight, and I remember that card starting, and I remember the first 2 fights being over immediately. But I remember distinctly being in the crowd and a guy behind me, Ali Voso, as a matter of fact, hip-hop artist out of Maryland. I believe Maryland, Baltimore, or something like that. He tapped me on the shoulder, and we were talking, and he told me that him and it was like 10, 15 dudes with him all came to the fight for Tank. They didn't even come for Broner Vargas. I'm like, okay, so Tank fight. When Tank comes out, the crowd goes crazy. It's like, you think that this is the Tank show. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, damn, Tank had the people like that when it's time for Tank. So I'm thinking, okay, Tank about to come back. I seen him on Twitter talking about December. I haven't really been checking his page so much. Thought he would come back in December. You know, you got the Wilder Fury pay-per-view. You got young Tank. And I see on his page, he's not even fighting in December. It's like, come on, man. Like, at that point, that's when the whole free tank thing started, because we went in the group with the fellas, we talked about it. All of a sudden, Ringside Rave decided to make a post and talk about why is the last time we seen Tank was when he was destroying Quellar on the Broner Vargas card, because that's the last time we seen him. Tank is a force. Tank is a beast. Tank is a monster. Tank is 23 years old. Tank is at the time where he's supposed to. He's a 2-time champion, 20 fights, 20 wins, 19 KOs, and he's sitting on the sideline. For what? And we've had this, and y'all could chime in because I don't even want to like have it like I'm on a box or anything, but I've actually had this conversation on websites prior where I said Tank needs to be fight. Oh, well, it's okay because Floyd. Listen, man. At the end of the day, it's not about Floyd when it comes to a fighter trying to apply his craft and his God-given abilities. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter about your own personal relationship when it comes to me getting a fight to support my family and show my talents like you did before. If you're not going to let me fight, let me go because I want to see Tank fight. He's very talented.
Yeah. So the thing to me that's crazy about it is Tank is 23. He's very exciting to watch. I think he has his deficiencies, of course. But for the most part, I want to see him box. And to have a dude that's 23 in his prime not fighting for 6 months, it's like, what the? And so, Mal, you said, okay, like, have you ever seen something like this before? And when Mikey got fucked over, you kind of saw it then. But Floyd, at least, the optics make it seem like Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, is the person like holding Tank back. And it's weird because the only other time you saw, at least I can recall in the past 20 something years, you see a promoter like truly fucking with like a real draw like that is when Bob Arum fucked with Floyd like that.
And I don't even want to. We don't even know that it's on Floyd. And I'm not even saying that it's on Floyd.
That was going to be my first talking point too, man. You took my out when I was.
No, it's just the fact that it's Mayweather Promotions, so of course Floyd's saying first. It's the fact that the whole free Tank movement. When we talked about it when it was started up, the whole free Tank movement is not about Floyd. It's not about Mayweather Promotions. That's the thing. It's always about when people talk about Tank. They talk about Floyd. They talk about Mayweather. And sometimes you got to focus on Tank as him as a fighter. It's about Tank, free Tank. And what that means is let Tank out. Let Tank out the gate. Like, you know what I mean? You got him in the cage. Let him out. Let Tank
him box.
On the rest. You know what I mean? Sick him on the rest of the division. Let Tank defend his title. Get in if you want. Show Tank if you believe that Tank is not as good as his attitude or whatever it may be or whatever issue or problem people may have with him behind the scenes, put him in the ring and let him and find out that way, because you never know, he might be as good as he's saying he is. He may be as good as he carries himself. You never know. Put him in the ring and stop holding that man back. Free him. Let him out the cage, man. And just let him out. Free Tank. Let out.
You want to chime in, Pat?
Yeah, man. I mean, everyone knows that Tank has had his issues with Floyd. I mean, that's no secret. I mean, they've had very public blow-ups, from, Tank blaming Floyd under everything under the sun to Tank blaming Floyd for snitching on him, to challenging Floyd to spar, which is absolutely crazy. Just all types of stuff. But yes, but Tank not being active and he holds a belt and for as long as he has, is insane. Like, I mean, they were talking about, they had posters talk about him facing Mars, which I thought was a shitty fight.
Right. That's who it was.
And then where did that even go? I mean, all of a sudden that's not even talked about anymore. Like, it's not any card. I mean, Showtime is has announced Wilder Fury, and his name is not even mentioned as even being on the undercard. Nothing. Right. Come on. And it's just like, it's like it's absolutely insane. And this brings and these actions right now, and this is why Eddie Hearn might have something going on, because there's a lot of he's not the only one, he's not the only fighter doing this, but he's probably the most high profile fighter doing this stuff about let me go, let me fight. And this is why Hearn is probably being on this predator shit right now, saying, or Tank is talking about, hey, Eddie, you got a deal for me? He's trying to be all public about it. And I mean, I mean, there's only so much that Floyd or Heyman can actually do before a boxer has to look out for himself and sign somewhere else to actually get some fights. Because, you can't have a young fighter like that just being on the shelf, not doing anything. Yeah, because all he's got to do is get into trouble, which is what he's been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Hold on, Newzz, before you go. Let me jump in because recently, I want to know. Not I want to know. It's just kind of a rhetorical question, but like, when did this start? Because it seemed like after wasn't after the Pedraza fight, everything seemed was straight. After he got him the title and the Liam Walsh fight, everything seemed gravy, and then shit just went left. Like, and it's weird because we obviously we hearing one side of it, from Tank, and it's messed up because even if you're not gonna put him in with the best of the best, just put him in there with somebody. Just stay busy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's frustrating to see that he has no fight lined up. And the thing too is, wasn't it a few months ago, while he's not one of the top people on the TMT roster, I know Mickey Bay was expressing some frustration with being inactive too. And also there was a person that Floyd sparred or somebody, I forgot his name.
Yes.
Right. He was, voicing his frustration as well. So it's not like Tank is just on some, I'm the only one that you never fuck with or blah, blah, blah. But, there's some other people on the roster too that aren't active. I don't know if they need to take that up with Heyman or Floyd. I don't know, but it just seemed like earlier this year, Tank was really, really mad. And we had a discussion like, is it more on Tank's issue to take it up with Floyd personally, or maybe he has done it and this is the way he's trying to really make it known. But just not having the man active is frustrating because,
frustrating for everybody.
Right. I don't know if he's trying to smack Tank on the wrist for that time Tank lost his belt on the scales. I don't know, but
I think it goes back to when Tank said that he made him force him to that first fight against Pedraza.
Right.
That's when it really came out. But man, at the end of the day, like you said, the whole free Tank thing is basically like, man, just free him, man. We want to see Tank, Gervonta Davis type of fighter. We want to see I really want to see Gervonta Davis versus Tevin Farmer. How can I see that fight if Mayweather Promotions is not going to let Gervonta Davis even continue fighting to stay at his peak that he was? Because guess what? Tevin Farmer is about to get fights now.
Tevin Farmer, So, and to kind of news, like Tevin Farmer is about to get paid too. Like he signed.
Mm-hmm.
He is paid.
Yeah, he got.
I don't want to see Gervonta getting stalled out by his own. You know what I mean? Like thing is this part. When Tank should be already fighting somebody, he should be looking for his third fight.
News
of the year.
What did Broner say at the press conference before the Vargas fight? He was saying a lot of shit, but he said one line like, "Y'all don't really fuck with me." You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about himself, but shit kind of looked like you might can apply it to Tank too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're not attacking Mayweather Promotions because we don't know the whole story, but the optics, like Smoke said, the optics just don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a fighter that's clamoring to fight, and they ain't putting him in the ring.
And the fans want to see him fight. Like, at the end of the day, we talk about Earl Spence, we talk about Terence Crawford, we talk about Adrian Broner, we talk about them, but Gervonta Davis is a star. I've seen him in person.
A champion.
I've seen how the crowd reacts. I see how his city reacts to him. Gervonta Davis, and you don't want to fight Gervonta in his city. That if you fight him there, that's gonna. I would love to go to another Gervonta Davis fight in DC or Maryland because that crowd is crazy. They love Tank. They love Tank. Right. The love is real. Like, let that man fight. Free Tank so we can see him. We the fans. Right. Please free Tank so we can see him fight. We're asking to see Tank fight. I really do want to see Tank fight because I do want to see, again, Gervonta Davis and Tevin Farmer fight. That is the fight that I want to see. Lomachenko, Mikey Garcia is a fight that I really want to see, of course. Gervonta Davis and Tevin Farmer, That's another fight that I really want to see that fight.
That's a fight that should have been happened by now.
And the only way that's going to happen is if Tank is active and fighting. So please free him so he can stay at his peak. So that way, when he goes into the fight with Tevin Farmer, both of them are at their best abilities, and we can get a great fight between two young fighters. That's what the whole movement's about. It's the fans. Right. The fans are speaking.
Right. And the thing is that, we've mentioned it on air and off air plenty of times about, the lack of visibility for American fighters. And recently, as of yesterday, I saw a video with Tony Bellew and Big Baby. And Tony, he was making a great point. He was like, American fighters, they just don't fight enough. He's like 6 months in between fights and shit like that. That's unacceptable. And he was like, even now, they're waiting longer to fight, and they can't get into a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just imagine if Loma and Tank if Floyd would have honestly really made that fight when he was throwing that out there, Tank would have been in a hell of a trouble because he's been inactive as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just throw that man in there in 4 months with no tune up and say go fight. Damn, arguably the best fight in the goddamn world. That's a disadvantage if I ever heard one. You know what I'm saying? Like, after his fight in March, he should have fought in June. Should have fought damn near this month and another fight in December. You know what I'm saying? Because homie ends the fights quick. Tank don't play that going the full distance. So we ain't got to worry about the man taking punches and getting beat up like that. There's plenty of fighters on the PBC roster that need some work, that Tank can get some rounds in and stuff like that, and so he can get a rhythm developed. So when we do bring up Lomachenko, we can be like, Tank's been hella active, and the prospects of him winning a fight like that go up, as opposed to you fought on the McGregor undercard, you fought on the Broner Vargas undercard. You don't fight for basically until December, then we don't throw you in there with somebody like Lomachenko. Go win. You know what I'm saying? That's putting that man at a disadvantage. So just like we said, get the man active or let him go. It don't make sense to have a potential cash cow on your roster and you don't get him active. Or just let us know why you holding him back. You know what I'm saying? You can squash all this shit by just speaking up and saying, these are the reasons why I don't feel Tank is putting himself in the position to get more fights or some shit like that. Because the silence on Mayweather's end is going to fuel the anger and shit on the fans end and also on Tank end if you're not letting us know what's going on.
Right, and that's what we are. We the fans, and we're asking, please, free Tank. I don't care about any behind the scenes beef. I don't. Right. I just want to see Tank in the ring fighting somebody. That's it. This happened before. Like I said, it happened before the Pedraza fight. It happened before the Pedraza fight where Tank was out the ring for a while, and then all of a sudden he pops up fighting Pedraza. You know what I mean? What was it, 17th fight?
And who all in the videos?
So, and then he get the W over him. He gets a W over Pedraza. Beats him, takes his title, and then he comes back. He's on the road. He's fighting again, looking good. And then there you go. He gets put on timeout again.
Right.
Like it's breaking the momentum and the greatness of Mayweather Promotions. Because again, we've always said that too. Mayweather Promotions, there's no way in the world I would ever believe that Mayweather Promotions is not built or capable to promote a superstar. There's no way you could have Floyd and not know how to market and promote a fighter to the moon. I mean, you just have to have the fighter, and guess what? They have the fighter, but for some reason, you're putting your star player on timeout. You're sending your star player. You're taking your time. You're taking your star player out the game, coach. You're taking your star player out the game for no reason. And now the fans are starting to get a little restless. Now we're starting to chant "Free Tank."
Yep. Right. It's did P join us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. Yeah, man, you want to give us some thoughts on this whole, free Tank situation? We were just discussing, from the optics of it, how we feel that, he's being held back, and how we just, we basically just want to see the man in the ring. And if you're not held, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Okay, go ahead, man.
I agree. I feel like, honestly, I'm sick of the pettiness, the bullshit. He's one of the best players on your team. Why are you going to hold him back? You're fucking up your own money.
Right.
Over some petty shit. Like, it just doesn't make, because, you know, I've always given Floyd his due for his business sense, but this doesn't make any business sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep having this guy in limbo over and over, like, at some point, either you gotta, I don't know, it's frustrating, honestly. I'm kind of frustrated about it.
Yeah, man, and like, right, and then, you know, we want to discuss like who we want to see him fight next, but it's like, shit, we don't even know what kind of fight, you know what I'm saying? We don't know, you know, because we don't even know when he gonna be able to fight next. Because like we said, the Mares fight just, right, the Mares fight shit came up, and we was like, oh shit, you know, there we go, and then the shit just disappeared. So what the fuck?
Right. I mean, in terms of, and just remember where you saw the free tank hashtag from first.
Yep.
Like I said, you know, it came from this side, ringside rave. You know, just remember that. You know, like I said, and it's a trip to me because social media is a motherfucker with how shit gets caught on. You know,
Right.
you know, like niggas originate stuff and bam, you know, people spread it. Sometimes they don't even know what originated. Sometimes some of them are even try to pass it off as their own. It's crazy.
Definitely, man. But yeah, man, the next thing we want to move into, man, we got on ESPN Plus, right? It'll be on ESPN Plus this Saturday night.
No, regular ESPN.
Regular ESPN. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, ESPN Plus subscribers, yo. But we got Bud Crawford and Jose Benavidez Jr. And also on the undercard, you know, Shakur Stevenson, Mr. 8-0, he'll be fighting as well against an opponent that'll be named at some point. And, you know, Joshua Conley, he'll be there fighting Carlos Adamant, whatever. We don't care about them. But anyways, you know, right. You know, this is going to be Crawford first. Right. And, you know, before we get into Crawford thing, man, like I said, we have, you know, Shakur there, man. So, like I said, we don't know the opponent, so it's hard to really say what to look out for, but I guess we could just individually, you know, what are some things y'all want to see, you know, Shakur improve on or bring to the table this fight as opposed to, you know, when he was last in the ring? Or are there some things you're going to be looking for him?
Yeah, cut all that tentative shit out. Like this last fight, it seemed like it seemed like he was just hesitant to put the guy away. I mean, what the fuck? Like, you know, I mean, because he was bullshitting his last fight. I was like, he should have, you know, I don't know what it was. But I really want to see an effort for him to put this dude away.
Okay.
He should be knocking the dudes out that he's quote unquote TKOing right now, and he needs to knock this dude out.
Right. Newzz, you got any input too as well, my boy?
Man, y'all already know I'm on team Shakur Stevenson, so it don't matter who it's gonna be. It don't matter if it's going to be a knockout. It's going to be another pretty performance for Shakur Stevenson. He's going to put another show the reason why he's an elite prospect on his way to championship status soon. As far as his power goes, I mean, again, these fighters, I don't even know how old Shakur Stevenson is. But
23.
No, he
can't be 20. I don't think he's 20. He's 21. He's 21.
Oh, 21.
Yeah, he just turned 21.
Yeah, he was born in 97.
I don't know, man. Listen, at the end of the day, at the very worst, I've seen fighters win championships without a lot of power. So it doesn't matter. I just want to see Shakur Stevenson apply skill. That's all, you know, I'm always say the same thing. I just want to see him apply it because I like fighters that are skilled like Shakur Stevenson. Fighters like him, I don't look and go see, well, he needs to get the stoppage. It'll be beautiful.
But he's not that type of fighter.
Right. So I'm just going to enjoy the performance however it comes, man. And watch him put on another performance and watch him move towards a championship.
Yeah, what about you, P?
I'm just looking for him to just apply his skills right now and just dominate these. These are guys that he should look good against. So I just want to see him look good. And I don't, like Newzz said, don't need to be a knockout. So if you just dominate your opponent from start to finish, I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that.
Bet. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's hard to be like, he should do this, Y, Z, because we don't even know who the fuck he's fighting against.
And it's not like, and it's not like he's like, I haven't seen him really struggle to date with anybody, which he shouldn't be. It's just like, the only criticism that we can think of is he's not knocking these guys out, I'm okay with that. Because there's a lot of worse things you could say about people than, oh, he's not knocking people out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not Team Shakur, but I'm definitely not a young Machiavelli hater. Young Machiavelli doing good would be great for me. I just think because you look at him and you see, okay, this dude's probably going to be up to about 140 one day. And if he's going to be able to do it just purely through his skills and, winning unanimous decisions and the occasional TKO here and there, that's totally cool. But usually when you have a young fighter like that, their first 10 fights or so, they're strategically placed against dudes that they can, hurt. So, if he wins, whether, if it's not by knockout, it's still a win, obviously. It's not a big deal. But you just want to see, okay, like, as we're forecasting this dude, is he going to have, like, the power that's expected of someone that is going to move up to 135, 140? And I don't see it that far, but that just could be because it's not what they're trying to do. You hear stories from people who have been in camp with him, and they say that he's a real killer. So,
but yeah, man, the main event, we got arguably, and he'll tell it his damn self, the number 1 pound for pound fighter, Mr. Bud Terence Crawford. He's going up against Jose Benavidez Jr., who recently had a 1-round KO of Rojas, but more importantly, maybe known for getting a controversial decision against Mauricio Herrera about 4 some odd years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, how y'all feel about? Oh, what's up?
No, I said he lost.
Oh, and that's what I heard. And but yeah, does he stand a chance against Crawford? Is it gonna go the distance? Is it like they gotta ask, man? Hey. So
I mean,
but yeah,
my thoughts on the fight is like this. I mean, first of all, it's refreshing to see 2 fighters that hate each other, and and these two don't like each other. I mean, Crawford was damn near like
saying, let's go outside.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think Crawford's pretty much going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel. Now, it would be a surprise to me if Benavidez not only, I guess returns fire, but makes it competitive. Because in the end, if Benavidez is actually, if Benavidez has a good showing, then, it's good. Then, welterweight has a fresh face. This is a shot at the big time, And yes, I also thought that he lost to Herrera. He lost clearly to Herrera, and that was a travesty of a decision too. But yeah, I do think it's gonna be be intense, and I do think Crawford is really coming there. He's gonna really want to body dude come Saturday night.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Newzz, man. Go ahead and if you want to go ahead and add something to this as well, bro.
This is about to be another Terence Crawford highlight. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see anything else but Terence Crawford putting all types of hands on him. Like, I don't, and it's hard to say. Okay, so it's hard to be like, oh, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't want to. But am I being disrespectful by speaking what we all know is gonna, like, you've never fought a fighter even near Crawford's level. How do you just jump straight up to Crawford? Like, you don't, you know what I mean? You didn't beat any of the underbosses on your way to the final stage boss. Like, that's what he is. You're fighting the guy that we're waiting for Earl Spence to fight. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see it going any way other than Terence Crawford putting all types of hands on you, because Terence Crawford is that good. You haven't shown that you that good yet. Now, you may be in the future when you get to fight that type of fighter. You know what I mean? Build your way up, but I just can't see the jump straight to Terence Crawford and being able to compete. I think Terence Crawford they're gonna be competitive at first, but Terence Crawford is a 12-round fighter, where he's built to fight you at his A game for the whole 12 rounds, even though he starts off slow. He's going to start off slow too, just like I said about the next fight. Terence Crawford's going to start off slow against Benavidez, and Benavidez is going to get out early, maybe the first round or two. First round, or maybe first two rounds, Benavidez is going to look good, and then it's over. It's going to be like it's a totally different fight. We're going to see something different. Terence Crawford's going to take him apart. I don't know if he's going to stop him or not, because I don't know what type of. I've never seen Benavidez really hit with that type of firepower and fall down or anything like that. But I just see pretty much a one-sided Terence Crawford dominant victory over one of his rivals again. And another highlight footage.
Crawford might just be petting and drag it out like the Hank Lundy shit, and then be like, all right, yo, I got somewhere to go, and then just finish his ass off, man.
Bud Crawford needs to fight someone who's legit. When you think of people who Jose Benavidez might fight, you think the loser of Jesse Vargas and Thomas Delorme.
Right. I agree. I agree. That's what Jose Benavidez doing, coming up the welterweight, not challenging Terence Crawford. I know people say on one side, "Oh, I mean that takes courage," but again, to me, it doesn't really take courage to fight the best guy. I mean, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. I mean, it doesn't really take courage to do that. You're getting your biggest payday. You talked your way into a Terence Crawford fight that you're really not even ready yet for. So you're about to get paid to take this loss, and the loss is not going to matter. The loss is going to be he wasn't ready. He was just like the Floyd, just like how people gloss over the Floyd Canelo L. Where
Benavidez will never be ready. Bro.
I'm about to say, yeah, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, he'll never be ready.
But I mean, still, go into the future. You lost to Terence Crawford. You lost to arguably the number one fighter in the world. There's no shame in that.
You're supposed to lose that fight. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Benavidez' hardest fight was the fight that he had after he got robbed and clapped up. You know.
True. That's true.
It's a big step up. It's a big step up for Jose Benavidez.
Okay, let me ask this question. Everybody. So what do we say this? Okay, so if we're all on the train that it's a huge fight for Benavidez, it's a huge step up. Terence Crawford's going to put hands on him. Now let's reverse that. What if Terence Crawford doesn't put hands on him? What if it's a competitive fight? What does that say for Terence Crawford?
That's bad. That's really bad.
Or does that say something for Benavidez? Like, how do you guys think it would go? If it's a competitive fight, do you guys think people are going to say Benavidez is better than what we thought he was, or Terence Crawford isn't as good as we thought he was? If it's competitive, of course.
It'll be Benavidez is better than what, for me, Benavidez is better than I thought he was.
No, they're going to say the latter.
It's going to be all on Crawford, and I would say it's Crawford.
And then people are going to say, and then you know what people are going to say after that? Oh, Crawford struggled with Benavidez. You think he's going to beat Spence? Ha 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 ha. Like, it's going to be that.
You can't beat a healthy Thurman. Hell, he'll struggle with Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Well,
for the sake of big welterweight fights in the future, I'm hoping that there's no struggle in this fight. No competitiveness.
Right. But yeah, Newzz, go ahead and wrap this thing up, man.
All right, y'all. Well, I thank you and appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Ringside Rave.
Thank you guys for listening to Ringside Rave. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.